about to die, but here comes Skewmont, as Hans will survive at 1 HP. Giant X defend, and they finally got to send their ultis. Surprisingly enough, G2 got sent back.
G2 do get sent away. It was a good engage from Jackies that ended up closing the distance on towards Hans.
On a ward between Welch John. It's not going to be in this one for very much longer. Caps will take another victim at 10,000 gold and 25 seconds for a Drake's soul. G2, they'll just run it back.
Yeah, unfortunately for G2, they're going to have to take second prize of a Mountain Soul instead of the base on the way out as well. But again, nice effort from Giant X, right? Like, I always appreciate teams that don't end up just like rolling over and saying, all right, game's done. Let's try and make some plays. And Jackies makes it happen. Like, don't quite get the kill, but at least try and hold on for that little bit longer.
Caps will stand up while this Dragon's going to be taken. Lot looking for an angle, but meanwhile, Isma's up in the top side. That's part of their engage. Teleport's going to be burned. Now, an angle on Caps, that's what they're hoping here. Caps is a little bit low on the mana bar. His ulti's not up. He does have Protobelt here as Jackie's Q3 just out of range. Fate Sealed not up and available either. He's going to snap back to his soul unbound. And he teleported for that. Giant X now 5 members on the bottom side of the map, and Han Summer's going to push it off.
Soul taken. G2 just setting up the rest of the map in their favor. Yeah, G2, turns out they played fairly well on stage in front of the crowd. Who would have thunk it?
Not I. It's 12-0 still. Outside of the turret and the 3 grubs, it is a perfect game. Oh dear, the LEC script writes itself again. Here comes the final moments of this game at the very least. Not going to be the fastest game of the split, as we've now bypassed that by 40 seconds, but Giant X are going to have to pull off some kind of miracle, engage like Jackie's had before.
It is somewhat infuriating with G2, right? Because you're kind of like, yeah, they're playing a little bit rough. Maybe, just maybe, they can, something might go wrong. And then they get to the end of the split and they just look like this. And you're like, they're like the dog that faked a limp and then just started running whenever it wanted.
And shout out to Hopium, you know, I was on that earlier in the week, and we're talking with Memento, and he was literally saying, like, you know, we come back from internationals, have like a 6-day break, and then we're thrown into the split. And it's called the Forge God comes through. It seems like this time around they've finally gotten their foot together. Impale does connect on the Skewmon. Caps goes between worlds. Jackie's face still gets flushed away from it. The wild grows. Han Summer gets a knock-up thanks to Lebrov. And even though G2 get tested a little bit for a 10,000 gold lead, Inhibitor still goes down, and all the same, the game is slowly ending. It's just Giant X breaking the straw a little bit further.
Yeah, a minute and 50 until the next Baron. Feels like that's kind of where the Baron is going to be the main focus to try and close out this game. But again, like, I think you're just gotten completely outscaled. Like, even with a hope, it's Han Sama now starting to tick over towards a 5th item. He's in an insane spot. And Caps is one-shotting basically anyone who walks or near him when he finishes his Rabadons.
Caps had an exceptional game as well. As you said, Rabadon's close to being completed. Han's just got LDR. No memes this game. Not that he would need it, but still, I mean, Skarner, count. It is still one tank, and LDR in hand is better than not. As G2 final onslaught begins. I've said that a couple of times now, but it's just one long drawn out game-ending moment.
Yeah, but I do think this is where like the meta shift and the way the game has changed does force these kind of longer games. Because with all these extra plates, it takes longer to kill towers, especially because the amount of people that are around them that ups the amount of resistances that it has. True. So it just takes longer to get through out of structures, and you don't kind of see these like clean sweeps through tier 2s into inhibitor turrets anymore because of how long it takes with all those extra resistances. So for G2, they don't have to play it out. It will be 30 seconds until the next Baron, and then surely they finish it out here.
Will Giant X get a kill this game? The only question we have left remaining.
I fully believe they will. Because there's no way that the social media team for G2 isn't sitting there waiting for the content to end. Sure. And they're going to record it and then be like, yeah,
I think of the Leonardo, at least one. I think of the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, you know, him going, there it is, the first kill there. We're going to have an opposite of that. I don't know what it's going to be, but you guys can cook on the medias as...
Yeah, I mean, you're asking millennials for social media advice. What are you doing? Come on.
I thought they're Zoomers. I don't know. Are they Zoomers or millennials? We're millennials.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Sorry. It doesn't show. But the Zoomers will help us. As Baron starts, this is round 2, Baron number 2. Giant X are going to run and send the Hail Mary once again. True Shot Barrage helps out with the leash. Caps goes in between the veil, wants to send it across the veil and between the world. Is going to get knocked up. The tidal wave stops to call the Forge God. He gets knocked up, but Baron's still gone. A pillar out, a searing charge threatened, and G2 get it cleanly. The zoning from Broken Blade makes sure that Giant can't step anywhere near.
Wave on the bottom side needs to be dealt with by Giant X, and they will just back away. G2 not really wanting to overextend here. Caps doesn't really have anything to reset for, so was kind of hoping someone would poke their nose there, but doesn't actually end up being the case.
Okay, now, this is surely it with the Baron. Almost 11,000 gold. Han Summer is 5.5 of it. This?
Yeah. I mean, this is giving a lot of ammo to Jack Spectra's quote of this week, which is that Han Summer is the most underrated player in EU at the moment.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty decent scoreline for him, I'm not going to lie.
But how is he the I always want to fight Jack Spectre. It looks fun until you realize he's actually quite Jack. In the name, it's in the name.
It is.
Jack in the name. Good one. Good one, me. W me, L Jack Spectre. However, before I fight him, I mean, he's got point, you're right, he's got ammunition, but I feel like the whole split, Han Summer has had an incredible performance when G2 have just been warming up. And quote on more of that later, and he can have his response on the AD after this as Isman looking for the engage, flash and pale. It's onto a bellows press into the air. The Scorpion won't come down. Han Summer will take a free kill as he flashes away from some kind of engage. Mystic shot after mystic shot. It's Noah's trying to find the play. Arcane shift away. Here comes Call the Forge God as well. Tidal wave flashes over. Broken Blade misses though. Caps. He will not. His between world finds another victim. And G2 finally putting the finishing touches on this game as the Nexus turrets are coming up next.
Valiant effort from Giant X. But it's an effort that's not too much. Jackie's wants one kill, but cannot find it as G2. It's not quite the perfect game, but it's damn near close.
It is kill-less for GX. Equalizer down. Jun about to hit the ground, and G2 safe and sound. Next Nexus turret drops down. The Nexus is bare 15-0. On Spanish ground, Giant X obliterated by the best the region's ever seen.
Holy moly, G2, that was clean. They didn't stand a chance. The whole time I was kind of just waiting for GX to get going, but bot lane fell apart, mid lane fell apart solo, and bit by bit, G2 just kept going.
The ammo for Jack Spectre, you're right, it is pretty good for today.
Good guys, G2. They just wanted to give GX a little bit more time to play on the stage in front of their home fans, because it wasn't pretty, because they could have finished it at 15 minutes, they could have finished it at 20 minutes, but they said, no, you know what, we're gonna give you another chance.
They slaughtered them.
They
tore them apart piece by piece. And the thing is, like, I know you're going to catch the pun. I know you are. But it's straight up a Hans diff. And what I mean by that is a hands. You know,
yeah, now we got it.
Because in mid lane, in bot lane, like, there's nothing to talk about in the context of the comp, the draft. Like, you just got outplayed. You just straight up lost in lane in the 1v1 and the 2v2.
You did, didn't you?
I mean, it wasn't even close, right? And this is a matchup where I think that the Estral and Nami should be the one trying to bully the Sivir and Lulu. And you see that Giant X, they have the right idea, right? They really want to try to punish them. But the movement on Hansama and Labrov, they're just dodging every single Q, outplaying them every step of the way, burning the summoners, and then they continue their lead forward. And Noah still wants to try to fight back. He wants to be the one that wins this game and wins the lane for his team. But I think Hansama and Labrov, for me, they're the best bot lane in the league. And you see it in this game. They played Sivir Lulu, and still they had a 4,000 gold lead on Hansama at minute 15. He was taking the tier 2 from Noah after 2v2 killing them on bot, and they just kept this lead snowballing, and it was just a bot gap through and through.
It was crazy.
It absolutely was. And they just kept adding insult to injury with the roams that we saw on bot lane, the dives that they were making happen. The execution that we're seeing from G2 and from Hansama in this game was absolutely phenomenal. Playoffs G2 has arrived a couple weeks early, and my goodness, do they look terrifying.
And we need some respect on Hansama's name. I said it he's the most underrated player in the league. And you can see it in this game. Like, yes, of course, he has caps. Every game he has caps, so people focus on caps. Even this game, you can focus on caps. You can have the solo kills. You can talk about that. But still, he's a rock for this team. But not just that, because if you think rock, you think boring. You think stable. He's still aggressive. He plays forward. He plays the Draven. He plays the Kalista. And he wins you the lane. And he wins you the game.
I will say, listen, in the past, I might have been a little iffy about Hansama at times, and I'm going to tell you
there
exactly
was one time he didn't buy LDR. That's it.
I'm going to tell you again. Like, I think it all fell away from me this year specifically. That's not saying that he wasn't always super great. I just felt sometimes in the very important matches, in the most important international games, perhaps he wasn't pushing his advantage as much as he could when they got an early advantage, right? But he was still a super freaking good player. I feel like all of that has fallen away this year, right? We take first stand into consideration, of course. How could you not against the best of the best? Like, if you could do it versus the best of the best, you ain't gonna drop it versus GX. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I think Skumon said it best. He went up against Diable and he went up against Ruler. And still, Hansama and Lebrov were winning lanes and just outperforming them throughout. Now, of course, we'll see how they do at MSI and stuff like that if they eventually get there.
But still, they gotta get there first.
They gotta get there first, but come on, I mean, after this.
Hey, I got about Lebrov, I've got some lore. So basically on the Spanish co-stream, when Lebrov wasn't doing that good, you know, we were all kind of down on him. They had like all these nicknames for him. One was like La Broma, which is the joke. And they also used to call him El Triángulo. It's basically the triangle because they thought he had the most useless like role in the orchestra. They were really intense. But I think it does go to show as to where there were periods of time where people felt that way about Lebrov on this lineup, right?
I thought you would bring up Lebrov James.
To be fair, like when people look at this G2 roster, they will still point towards that bot lane. And I mean, like, of course, when we look at the regular season, Broken Blade is kind of being the big point of criticism. But what we know about G2, and it's kind of just been the story for as long as we can remember, and if you only want to go back the last 2 years because of this iteration, it's just that once they find a meta that works for them, the level just, it goes up through the roof. And it's a challenge taking this team down. And GX right now, they're not showing us the level because set aside the bot lane, set aside the top lane, forget Skumon. You have to go through the King of Europe.
Yeah.
And the man in the mid lane continues to remind you why he is at the top consistently.
It's crazy because we were singing Jackie's praises coming into this. The fact that he had good games despite GX losing yesterday. He got bodied, man. He got his ass handed to him like twice in a solo kill, but overall. And I was asking, like, is this supposed to happen? And Jack was like, I'm not sure, dude.
I mean, I don't think it's ever supposed to happen, but you are blind picking Yone up against Caps, which is pretty cocky. He's getting the counter pick on you, and he's able to then go something. He could go the Aurora, he could even go the LeBlanc, and he has a lot of angles to actually kill you. And up against Caps, I don't think you ever want to give him a matchup that can actually be winning, because you see what happens in a winning matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to what we said at the start. There's not much to talk about in the context of the draft. There's not much team play to talk about. It was straight up a hands diff between the solo lane in mid and in the bot side of the map. Like, look at the damage dealt between Hansama and Caps. An absolutely stellar performance from these two carries.
Absolutely. Look at us. Never happier if we can talk about a G2 win in it. Just kidding. Let's talk a little bit about like recovery maybe for GX, because we also had this one from Anonymous.
Oh, it's anonymous now?
Yeah, it was anonymous. I don't know. Do you know who said this?
Oh.
It was Law yesterday.
Oh, what?
It was Laura.
Did she
What about,
say
I thought you were going to bring up the other
yesterday, yes.
Where's the lot top 4? Do you have that one?
Oh, that one? Here, hold this.
Is it out? Oh, it's there, okay. I mean, maybe that's these two go in hand. So this needs to happen for this to not happen.
Yeah, but if GX do lose, they will lock 6th place, which will hurt Lot's chances of being that.
Yeah.
Is this mirrored on stream? I don't know. Like, can people read this? We should have printed it, maybe mirrored. Anyway, yeah, GX will go 0-3 this week, and I remember us talking about this in our story meeting. Oh, should we make it 6-0, right?
0-6.
Or 0-6 rather, that they wouldn't win a single game. We were like, oh, but that's a little super rude. Like, I don't think it's that rude anymore.
I mean, it feels like that's the trajectory they're heading on, because
man,
what felt like a very promising regular season, the question that we kept asking for GX was, okay, you can beat the bottom teams, but then how do you fare against the top teams? And the way the standings are playing out right now is they are slap bang in 6th place, where they did not beat anyone above that, and they could beat everyone below that. And it's a bit of a shame. time. Because last split, they finally broke the curse. They finally got 4th place, the thing that they've been working so long for. So to fall short of that goal, I mean, there's still playoffs to play for, of course, but the level that we're seeing from them is not the same as what we saw last
working
split.
so hard just to be fake Team Liquid. Like what the hell? But for GX, yeah, I think this is also why we're looking at this road trip, right? Because this is a real opportunity for you to kind of pave the way a little bit for higher expectations going into the playoffs, and you're never going to get as much fan support as you got right here, right? And that's why it's a little bit sad, because we know they have more in them, but we haven't seen it. Let's see if they can show us when we get into game 2, and that'll be after this break.
He's bottom, and now Jackie's, oh my.
2-fold Hex, Caps is waiting, he's going to pop them between worlds. Jackie's ulti's out, gets out, Caps on the turret, 2-fold Hex, and the order the ball back.
I will go there, guys, I will go there. I will look at it. Keep tagging. Good job, very nice. Don't die, don't die. Okay, listen. Anyone else anything or? What? I might hit my Q. Need some CC, guys. Yeah, but it's gonna bring you better. Wait, you just killing them? Okay, nice, good job.
Brother, let me try.
Wait, brother. Let us break this instead, brother.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
What is this, brother?
Perfection.
A new champion. Welcome to my shop. You'll need the right build. Choose wisely, because every upgrade brings you closer to the next level. So tell me, how will you level up?
The whole room was howling.
Howling? Oh. That's not howling, buddy. That's...
Did you steal the LEC trophy? Okay, you can call it.
Let's go. Confident like you never deceive. Big ego, bigger brain, it's really obscene. So we only wear designer cause we always look clean. And for that money, everybody you fiend. And the bling like a chandelier hung on my chest. And I get it for free cause I'm simply the best. See deposits every hour, not breaking a sweat. About to lunch with my girls, grant at every request. Thank you. High and bold, can't be bought or sold. I promise I am the hottest, determined and never modest. A star, a flying rocket, a stage. I always rock it, I lock it in tight. Do it every night. Big dividends, big love, big hype. Pretty lights, fat bass, nice body, pretty face. Can't keep up with the pace, everybody wanna taste. If I show up to a place, so you know what's going off. I make money moves, baby, don't mess with the balls. High and bold, can't be bought or sold. I'm so confident. Whoa. They wanna copy it. Yeah, my profit getting big, big, big. I'm on top of it. Style opulent. I'm so confident. I'm so confident. Whoa, they wanna copy it. Yeah,
time for a show. Show 'em how you outplay. Go and check the replay. Dubs like all day, boy, you better know. Know that it might be just a little hyphy. Trying to call about these watches go. Cause the games are straight fight. Every team fight coming down to the wire. The whole world trying just to look like us. Take a look at your league. Wish you played like us. Natana shook reality. You're facing a tragedy when...
Yeah, definitely we're playing as like the top teams in LEC, right? And I think we have been looking, shaky a bit so far this split. But I think a lot of our focus will just be on ourselves because we know that if we're playing our own game well, we can take down any of them. And I think that case is definitely the team to look out for. I think they've been very consistently strong both in winter and spring split. And they even took us to 5 games in the final. So they're definitely the main team we're looking out for. But both Koi and GX are also very strong. We'll definitely go for the 3-0. Obviously our opponents are tough, but we also want to be the best team in Europe, and to do that we need to showcase that we can take down anyone. So starting off here with a 3-0 would put us in a great spot for playoffs. Yeah, I'm definitely very confident on my own form. I think this split has been a struggle for us as a team, but individually I'm definitely confident going up against anyone. Being part of being a pro player is definitely for the fans and enjoying the energy that the fans bring. I always love when we played in these huge stadiums where you can just feel the whole stadium shaking and everyone is cheering. It brings so much energy and it makes the game feel different. It's just a different game you play. It's already a different game on stage, but when you go to these huge arenas, it's a game changer.
Caps likes the environment. Why shouldn't he? G2 just slaughtered Giant X in game number 1, not even netting a kill on their side. It's 15, 16 and 0 in the end as we welcome you back here to Madrid. He was worried about KC the most. They beat KC yesterday.
That went pretty well yesterday, actually.
It went well yesterday. And this one's going well again. I fear for Giant X because, again, with the series loss here, they're going to be number 6. And they're in a single elimination in playoffs. And if a game's like that, this will be a quick best of 3.
Yeah, it looked a little rough for wear for Giant X. Mid lane did not go well.
No.
Bot lane lost level 2. It had already, the wheels was coming off the cart before it even started the journey. So hopefully coming into this next game, they can find a little bit more of a pace that suits them. They take it a little slower.
Get some bigger wheels.
Yeah.
I don't know, get some tape for the car.
Yeah. A bit of duct tape, never did anyone anything wrong.
Yeah, maybe we upgrade from wood to metal. There's a lot of consideration.
Yeah, but you have to
Giant
unlock the tech tree first, and that takes a lot, So it's
And you can't unlock it until you get the other civ that's in the mining industry or something like that. And then once you get that, then it upgrades to bronze or something, and then you got to go through all the steps to get from bronze to iron
and everything. Yeah.
How do you do that?
It takes a while.
Yeah.
And GX only have this draft to figure it out.
Yeah. And you remember, you got to go through all the other stuff like Sean Bean saying, I'm fond of pigs. You got to get through that first.
Yeah, because that is...
Animal husbandry, that's what it's called, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Sean Bean is animal husbandry.
I have gone to Civ 6.
Yes.
I have gone to Civ 6, that was the only thing I could think of in the current moment.
You said Sean Bean, and my brain went to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they said that in Game of Thrones?
He's gonna. Sorry, spoilers. He dies. Okay. If you haven't watched it now,
bro,
you've watched it.
So
don't give me bro. Also, Sean Bean dies in everything he's in.
Yeah, it is impressive.
In everything. If Sean Bean's in a movie and he lives to the end,
does he die in Civ 6?
Well, he's just the voiceover artist. We don't know. Someone could have shot him. At the end of Civ 6, they write in the subtext, yes, we shot Sean Bean at the end.
Yeah.
We're waiting to get him pick and ban on your screen, and it's devolved a little bit.
There is a graphics issue, though, which is why it's devolved.
Ooh.
We are allowed to talk about the draft, though, that we see on our screen. So, looking across at G2, they have banned Varus, Melio, and Nautilus.
And they're on blue side.
On the opposite side for Giant X, it is Orianna, Caitlyn, and Ashban. So still a lot of that bot lane focus, which is why it seems like G2 immediately go for the Nico pickup. This has been something that Jun is very strong on, and also something that is a little bit of a takeaway there. But also Lebrov, I think, can look to play this engage heavy style, look to bully the bot lane, and that seems to be the game plan for G2 a little bit coming into this series.
Yeah, and while on the other side, things like the Karma are up. Ezreal's played in game number 1. Looks like the Rumble's going to be off the board, but Jarvan picked regardless. It was a quick change to Bard in the end. We are just giving you full pick ban via audio. Yeah. Enjoy this. Bard picked for GX. Now 20 seconds remaining. Jarvan was hovered before. That gets locked in with the Bard. So far, we've got Bard J4. Nico on blue side here for G2. As maybe something like the Vi. What do you think in jungle?
Yeah. I mean, Vi, not a bad shout. Bard is basically an answer into Nico to try and shut down any sort of follow-up from the engage. J4 playing into Nico, I'm not the biggest fan of. I am curious what they want to try and pair with the Bard, though, on Giant X's side. Because Bard, Jarvan, you want something that would be a Caitlyn, but Caitlyn's banned. Ezreal taken away. So what is the answer here? And yeah, G2 go for a hyper-aggressive dive comp here.
Yeah, I mean, Kai'Sa here for Han Summer in the bottom. I mean, at least the lane's mitigated by the fact that Nico's strong in the lane itself, but Kai'Sa here for Han Summer, building up dive already.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be a Xayah. Maybe Xayah is the answer here.
Good.
Yeah,
good,
looks
good
like that
answer.
is going to be the hover here. Because I think the Xayah can still get push, has the safety if you end up with the Wukong trying to dive into the backline, can answer for the Kai'Sa, and there we go, Xayah going to be the take.
They were thinking about the Ambessa, like there was a bit of a indecision there from Giant X that you couldn't see, but Xayah gets locked in the end, because otherwise it's just double 80 carry ban from G2, and there's no way you're getting that Xayah in the thick of it either, so...
I think the call as well here is from Giant X that, look, we're going to be able to keep counter pick for loss in that 5th position. So let's just try and keep it going. So to keep you up to speed here, on Giant X, it is Bard, Jarvan, Xayah. On G2, it is Nico, Wukong, and Kai'Sa. There we go!
Oh my God!
Oh my God, all picked at once!
As a family!
Yeah, and then Annie, Vayne, literally meant to be taken away as well. So here we go. Back into the thick of things.
Nah, we love it.
Yeah, I think already you're looking at heavily disengaged tool. Are these dive comps coming through from G2? And I'm curious then if it is what they're going to pair for Broken Blade in that top side to try and facilitate this.
Now, I will say with Vayne banned, I was talking to Finn about this morning, just reissuing my thought process of what that means. It might just be the Gnar here for Broken Blade up in the top lane. Remembering again, things like the Jace can be open, which seem to be an even matchup. Ryze is gone as well, so double mid lane ban. Might insinuate, I mean, Ori's gone as well. How do you get set up along with J4? Talia?
Well, I think the thing is you don't want things that have no mobility, right? What we've seen a lot of the times is an Azir into the Jarvan, because even when you go the Proto Belt, you got that flexibility, you got the ability to try and move around. Problem is when you've got G2 here, you don't really have the support tools for an Azir. You're looking more towards the dive. So you are looking at things maybe like an Akali, like these kind of things that could end up working out, but we'll have to see exactly what that game plan is going to be, as LeBlanc is going to be the hover here for Jackies that is going to get locked in.
Right, Dagda, sorry, I just did a do-si-do. LeBlanc is a good pick, but on the other side, as you said, something like Azir is already making trends, making waves, thinking about here. And
yeah, I don't think, I think the Azir isn't it. I do think Akali isn't really it either, so I'm curious. Like, Galio actually could be the answer here in the mid lane. I like Galio into LeBlanc in a lot of situations where you can survive that burst, you've got the instant CC for it, and you've got a ton of dive already to set it up.
Yeah, I was going to come in and be like, I would raise you in Akali maybe, but I think the Galio logic makes so much sense.
Yeah.
When this, to me, this just feels like an old FPX comp. This is like FPX 2019. Shout out to Finn, who went on a Gimgoon rant the other day. Absolute GOAT rant, by the way. One of the best top laners of all time, underrated. This, to me, screams 2019. Hey, what do we do if Kai'Sa gets ahead? Well, we dive in. We like to dive. On the other side of Giant X, they're obviously trying to mitigate that. They've got strong solo lanes in the lane itself, and now you've got an opportunity here for Lot to try and win out the 1v1, but you're not picking Renekton into the Gnar. Oh my lord, so you're deciding that I am not going to be good in the lane. I'm going to play this purely for some of the skirmishes.
But I think it does have a lot of value, right? You've got a lot of shields that are coming through on the Galio and the Kai'Sa that the Ruthless Predator can do good work with. You have a composition that wants to play into you, so you can try and play for peel. So I think Renekton can work in this sort of situation. And already it gives you a lot of setup, right? The potential for plays with the Jarvan Renekton on the top side cannot be overstated, especially if this LeBlanc is roaming.
Yeah, I mean, it is strong in duo capacity, you are right, and the Wukong is going to take a bit to get rolling here, at least until level 6. But Galio can hit sides as well, so I'm wondering, I mean, Broken Blade in his lane has been a lot more effective in the past couple of days, nay, past week as well. Let's see, Giant X got slaughtered in game number 1. Can they recover this and keep their top 4 playoff chances alive, or are they just going to be in the wayside, in the bin? And it means no matter what happens, and 2 on the verge of going 7-2 if they could beat MCOY in their own arena tomorrow. Could you imagine it? I could, because even though they started like 1-2, Dagda, it doesn't matter. It's G2.
Very true. I mean, we'll have to see now as you start to get into this.
I did state a fact. I said they were G2 and you said it was true.
You did. I didn't really know how to bounce off that. I was like, you know what? That is the case. They are in fact G2.
You're fast.
Still, I think for Giant X coming into this, I want to see them getting aggressive early, and I do think they have the ability with this composition to do so. And Isma, what has impressed me the most about Isma has been the way he's been creative with his gank pathings, with his jungle routes, and finding these plays where he can kind of interrupt the lanes nice and early. But he didn't get to see it in the last game, but on something like the Jarvan, I think he can be very good, because as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, this has been a little bit of a one-sided affair for Skumon this weekend.
Oh, yes, it has indeed, but for Isma, the start of the split was really good. Their first 4 series, when, yes, they weren't really tested, but were still clean enough, Isma was the one leading the charge. I think he's had an exceptional split.
Yeah.
However, of course, it's ramped down a little bit here with Giant X, then versing what have been better teams in the standings as well. So, as we look at the bottom lane, it's going to start off with G2 getting pushed in a little bit. The bounce, the reset, comes back to mid. You know what? Middle of the lane is what I'm trying to tell you. But with the pressure that comes from Lebrov, looks like level 2 will be hit first as Chaki's getting some good trades on the Caps.
Yeah, it's not the end of the road for Caps. There's an extra pause, and you'll end up getting the shield now in a little bit as well to help support him. So, like the main factor with the Galio is that you just have the survivability for the lane. Yep. Like LeBlanc can't really look for the all-ins, and then you have the ability to try and play for sides very quickly. Because ideally what LeBlanc would like to do against an opponent like this is try and play for roams and try and look for dives, but Galio's able to support that, so it's a nullifying pick here for Caps. I'll have to see if he can do just that.
Jack just gets Caps out of the lane, at least in the meantime. So push is going to come through. Caps will TP back in. Didn't get a really chance to go through the runes here. A lot has gone PTA versus Broken Blade, and for the matchup with how top is going to be, it makes sense. Slice and dice in, get your small trade, activate PTA, and get the hell out of there. The problem is the hop that comes afterwards and the chase from Nah. That's really how the lane's going to develop. Broken Blade goes back, gets a Ruby Crystal early. As we come back towards mid after shock there. So we haven't really looked at the top lane yet, but I think the most important thing will be tracking how it goes, especially as Broken Blade hits 6, and as he gets towards that Trinity Force burst as well.
Interesting to see the pathing from Isma though. Skipped his red, did Krugs, then red, into now contesting this bot side scuttle. So wants to find early fights against Skumon, basically course correct, so he can match up against this Wukong. Now with the help of his bot lane has been able to secure this grab, may try and immediately go topside to match, but again it's just trying to slow down this Wukong and prevent him from hitting that level 6.
Crowd is cheering for something. I want to know what it is.
It's us.
It's us. Thank you. Thank you. They've realised that the G2 are about to, you know.
Sorry, Jun nearly got that cosmic pointing on Tansama there. I thought that was meant to connect.
Isma angle's good, but on the triangle brush, Ward's going to spot him out. He'll immediately flag and drag going to go in, but under turret, Isma playing a dangerous game. Tangle Barbs used a little bit early here, and that means that Lebrov won't get the lockdown under turret of the enemy jungler.
Yeah, Isma's a braver man than me. I would not have gone for that flag and drag because I would have been hit by the Tangle Barbs, perfectly honest. So shocking that one didn't connect, and especially when you're under tower like that, that could have been a turnaround. But at least Isma gets some damage onto the bot lane, should help Noah and Jun get a little bit more control here. And if you can find this reset timer, it's pretty crucial, but that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that blooming burst. So easy when you get a Tangle Barb down, and the trade just sends Noah backwards. And he's going to go back and leave lane, at least the wave's in there. Broken Blade going to hop out here while Locke gets a good Ruthless Predator down. Top wave pretty even for now, and it's nice that he is rushing the Tarbis in this lane, which is a must.
Skumon, knowing that Isma hasn't reset, is actually looking for an invade onto the Raptors here. So basically using the time that Isma spent on that bottom lane now to steal away a camp, because Isma hasn't got the items to match him. So Isma now going to run in, may try and look for the Smite fight.
Flag and drag going to come in. No, Smite comes in just in the nick of time. Isma can't get too much, and Mini Raptors go down as well. So small take here from Skumon, which puts him in a camp advantage.
Nicely done by Skumon, just trying to get a little bit for himself. And every little helps here, right? Especially as you now start to look towards that level 6. Skumon will be able to take his Raptors, go towards Krugs, and then with the Scuttle spawn on bottom side, I think Isma's going to have to very quickly reset to try and get into position to match, but won't be able to do the 530 tech to give him the extra Scuttle smite advantage, whereas you will have that, I believe, available, unless Skumon wants to clear out very quickly here, but I think he's got time.
Yeah, we'll see at the very least. I mean, Krugs is still being done. And as Jun roams back down after getting a couple of little meeps, you're right, there's 20 there.
Yep, so there you go. Skumon waited until the last second to finish him off. Now has the smite upgrade. And this is kind of the disadvantage of Isma's pathing. Starting on that bottom side and going top. This now means that with the Scuttle spawning on bottom side, he can't be matching with that upgraded smite. Control
Warp placed down by Isma, and even though he doesn't have the upgraded smite, Flash Flag and Drag is a way to get on in. Skumon's being patient here. Scuttle Crab hasn't spawned just yet. Is it about to come up? Labrov trying to bait in Isma. Now shown 3v3. Second skin proc nicely here. Cosmic Binding not against the wall. Magical Journey to be taken out. Noah sets up to run into Hans Summer at half HP. Giants are not winning the health trade. 4 members there. Jackies gets over the wall onto Skumon, gets a burst down, and the chains as well. Gets the enemy jungler low, which is nice for GX. But G2 still willing to commit as you said, smite upgrade Dagda. Second skin, easy smite, level 6.
Yeah, it was a risky contest because Isma hadn't got enough experience because he was missing that camp to actually get the level 6 off of the Scuttle Crab. So that's why you can see him back away towards blue buff, maybe hoping that they could delay G2 enough that he could pick up that blue buff and still contest, but it was never going to be the case. It's Giant X spend that time, but it's G2 who still get the camp.
It's G2 who, again, might not have a gold lead because top lane for Lot is actually going really well. But, I mean, it's just been the rest of the map being G2, and it's like in last game, even though Broken Blade was on a tank, top wave was kind of mitigated. This game, a little bit different with Lot finding an individual lead. It's great, but if the rest of the map will melt, then the problem is, how does Giant X move into the mid game? A little bit early to be thinking about this, but still, it's thought process after you see such a dominant game in game 1.
Yeah, I do think for Giant X, it's, look, can LeBlanc get a big lead? Can we then have Renekton be massive in fights? And Noah being on this self-sufficient AD carry should be in a decent
Level
spot.
6.
LeBron trying to be sneaky with the minion line here. Does Noah notice? I think he should.
That means he's not in line.
Wait, he didn't notice. He didn't notice.
He gets Tangle Barbs. Blooming Burst is there. The feathers come out. The Killer Instinct as well. Second skin has been popped. Hansama running in for the next one as well. The feathers are out. The flash matched. Good instincts here from Hans Sama. Noah looks for the solo, or the 1v2 rather.
I mean, in the 1v2, it's Noah comes out on top. The heal and the flash and the barrier burnt by the G2 bot lane. Whereas you only got 2 of the summoners burnt by Noah. Jun still gets to hold on to the heal. And now they can actually get this wave pushed in thanks to that health advantage. So Noah looking clean on the Zaya.
Really clean as well, using that Caulfield's Warhammer well. Not sure if Rectrix was picked up before. I believe it was. The Tangle Barbs come through. Jun takes a Magical Journey. It's just a clone to block. Minion Wave going to be pushed in as well. And Hansama, I think, had to stick around a little bit longer at the edge of Fountain to get the gold for Recurve Bow and that longsword extra. So as he walks back to lane, he's going to miss a couple of minions here, and Noah is going to move into the red.
That's a nice job. Kind of Giant X at least getting some fighting spirit back after what was a disastrous game 1. And this is exactly what you want. If you can start to burn some of these key summoner spells and ultimates off of Hansama, he then looks very much less threatening for the likes of a dragon fight. But with Giant X investing Isma towards that Void Grubs, instead it will be G2 who are able to pick up the first dragon in response.
So Skumon takes this. G2 getting push on bot. I mean, it all comes together. First dragon of the game again. Nice little stepping stone for our League of Legends games here in Europe. Hansama gets to step up and get a plate as well. So still quite nice as, I don't know what's happening in top lane, but shout out to Lot. I mean, you know.
You're obsessed with this, man.
I mean, I am. No, it's not just because it's Lot, it's because it's Renekton versus Gnar, which can be quite hard for the Renekton. I don't think it's a deal breaker, as I'm sure Finn would say, but like, it's definitely a matchup not super Renekton favored. Lot in the early part, he's rushed Tarbis, he's now got that under his wing. Broken Blade's done the same, but a 10 CS lead against the Gnar is really nice. It's really compliment. Top 5 top laner, by the way. If they get top 6,
opinion,
if they get top 6, you can put them in top 6, okay? Not my opinion.
I do think the Renekton can have a lot of value later on, because a lot of the way G2's composition wants to work is fairly shotgun, right?
Yeah.
You have Wukong jump in, the Galio to follow, BB goes in with the ultimate after, and Hansama wants to try and help out with that in repositioning with Killer Instinct. But if you're diving into the Renekton, into the Jarvan, these kind of things, it can be kind of difficult as the Kai'Sa to survive that. So unless you're getting high value from these engages as G2, Giant X have decent responses. So when we get to these big team fights, we'll have to keep our eyes on where both Lot and Isma are positioning to try and keep Hansama in check.
It's a mega 80 carry focus game as well. I mean, especially from G2's side, maybe from Giant X, just the fact of Noah trying to survive while all his side lanes are looking for angles themselves. But I think those ultis are going to be something we're going to have to pay attention to, as well as no objective up for the little while, no fight incoming. Lot slice and dice in, he double slice and dice, full commits, Dominus now used. Broken Blade's going into Mega, but there is no E available. However, Broken Blade doesn't have the hop either, so he'll just accept the wave coming in as Lot tries a full commit and gets a push out, to his credit. I didn't discredit him, though. I didn't need to, Dagda. I'm just saying it's a good push out here. Cap's going to be flagged and dragged. Good knock up here. Chain as well. Going to double root him in. Distortion for good damage, but Caps has got a Spectre's cows. The Jackies ain't doing that much anymore.
Yeah, he kind of started to fall off as LeBlanc into this matchup at this stage. And it's just going to ignore the damage, but there's the engage.
Wukong set up. Pop Blossom's going to follow up as well and finds a one-man, but Skewmon is going to spin a second time. Isma turns into Cataclysm, but he can't get out. Magical journey now from LeBron. He's followed it. He's taken. He's found Jun, who will be forsaken. He's left to the right, while First Blood goes to G2.
G2 find the kill, and it was explosive. I thought they were just going to back away. You'd already seen that big trade in mid. They didn't expect much more of it. I thought Skewmon was just here to help out, but instead he sees the angle, and it's first blood for the Wukong, which picks him up the Triforce.
You see Hansama, in the meantime, wants to fight. He's got Kraken Slayer now picked up. Well, item advantage there is Jackie's. Not going to be Winds of War, gets out of the Taunt just in time. Doesn't even have Merc Treads, by the way, so I guess Taunt was just a small channel. As we look back at the replay, and Isma thought, I could tackle this.
Yeah, Skewmon with the level advantage, goes in, manages to catch Jackie's as well at the perfect timing. And Isma doesn't have anything left. It already flashed Cataclysm to try and keep the monkey in the cage, but it just doesn't work. And Skewmon looking for more invades off the back of this.
Because both junglers don't have ultis, and look at all the ultis down here for Giant X, while Caps has his. Killer Instinct up available for Hansama. Good Cosmic Binding from Jun. As now it is the Grom trying to be taken by Isma. His smite is available. He will only be able to contest one.
Must have also been a really big trade from Caps in the mid lane, because Jackie's was too low, had to reset. So G2 using the advantage they have in mid and that push in bottom lane, get the invade, steal away the camp, and again, it's Skewmon just keeping control in this jungle matchup.
And again, things are just escalating. 1,500 gold at 12 minutes in the game. It's not as explosive as game one, I feel, but as we go back to top lane, the all-in, he's gone into the dominance, but this is what I'm talking about. Broken Blade might not have the first item, but Caps is on the way. He's going to bring one hell of a hero's entrance in. That was a weird Justice Punch, but still the Shielded Ram with the Winds of War will take down Lot.
Nicely done by Caps on the roam. The ultimate to keep him in check, and Lot had the flash, didn't want to invest to try and get away, maybe more focused on
I guess that's what Caps wanted to punch. He was like, hey, he's going to flash here. Didn't end up doing so. LeBron running for his life here. The feathers are out yet again. Jackie's going to make a roam. LeBlanc on the way in. Good route with the pullback, and Jun gets the kill. You don't want that from Giant X, but at least you take one off the board.
I mean, nicely done by Giant X, though. Catching overextension from LeBron, managing to get the kill. They'll be able to reset now just in time for this objective to spawn as well. And there's no Nico on the map.
I will say, though, first kill of the series for Giant X. It took them 40-something minutes, but they got it. Plus break time. They got it. What do they do with it, though, on Jun? Well, he got the bell.
Well, I think
W bell.
The thing is, right, you keep LeBron off the map, so the vision setup for G2 becomes a little bit more difficult. Caps doesn't have ultimate as well because he just used a top. So if I'm Giant X, I'm calling all hands on deck. I want to try and take this fight, and especially as you still have things like Isma's ultimate to try and play it, I think Giant X should be looking to try and contest here.
Well, as they walk in the river, though, Skewmon does have his ulti available. Flash not there. That's the difference. But Isma doesn't have his either. Cataclysm is available, however. Note that all ultis I'm talking about, pretty much all of them are up and available. There will be an advantage if Lot joins with his TP, as Meganar is up now. But it will be going down. Hansama found out. Electrocute. Bursts him down. Barrier saves his life, but Jackie's done exactly what you need to secure Drake.
Giant X reading the map well. They push in bot, they push in mid, they knew the Caps in at the ultimate and willing to take the fight when they had it. And we've seen what Jackie's can do previously on this LeBlanc. He had a fantastic game on it before this as well. Hiding in Fog of War, fishing for these 80 carry picks.
Oh, dear.
But I think Lot should be out of here. I don't think they can do particularly much.
Maybe
Winds of War to interrupt, but I think they're fine to just reset.
Back. If he TP's top, he's going to use the TP now on the mini wave. He does.
Oh.
Caps tried to back away, but he's okay.
But it's a big interrupt. Caps wanted to reset and then TP to the bottom lane. Now Caps is stuck, has to TP immediately.
Tipping over the wall, Cosmic Binding, Tempered Fate going to be used. Meganar about to be enveloped into Giant X's top and support. Cap's going to look at this as an engaged shielded Rand flush from John, but now he doesn't take the magical journey. He does get out as G2 are going to lose their Meganar on top.
But look at the amount that's been done by Jackie's in the bottom lane. He's cleared out a wave. Caps has missed that. You're getting plates. I think that Terra might even fall on that next approach. But G2, they're going to turn it in towards the Rift Herald. Jackie's cancel his reset to just get the Terror in the trade-off. So nicely done by Giant X. It looks a little wonky, but they do get that Terror.
The turret is big. Jackie's already doing good damage with the Luden's Echo. Now he's going to have a little more so with individual gold. So Giant X, first turret of the game. Again, a massive improvement here. They minimize the gold from about 2K down to 500.
Again, I think Giant X just want to try and keep this pressure, right? You're looking at a big advantage in the jungle for Skewmon. So ideally, Isma wants to try and separate himself from Skewmon, see if he can play around this LeBlanc for a little bit and look for responses. The problem is you've got a Rift Herald on the opposite side. So Giant X are kind of forced now to play around G2 with this objective, because if they start to crack mid turrets, they're going to start to be able to play towards side lanes. So Giant X vision control in River going to be crucial to spot out what G2 are up to.
Jackie's playing around Fog of War for now. Their vision control is theirs. Deep wards placed through G2's bottom side jungle. It might be Skewmon who goes to clear it out. Meanwhile, Pop Blossom up in the top lane, going to be flashed away from after the slice and dive. But now, can he escape even further? Yes, he can. Caps can't do enough damage, but Broken Blade, can he TP for this? He's going to hop over the head of Lebrov, send out the boomerang. Good damage again onto Lot. He goes into dominance. Tempered Fate on him and the turret. Jun comes in to save the day while the teleport's going to come in and help buy time for Giant X. There's Jackie's. He joins the fighters. Cap's going to get the enhanced recall to get away. Broken Blade stands his ground, hits Jackie's double distortion in. He gets poked out, but Giant X's mid laner will get a little bit of heal from the Shrine to Stay.
Keep your eyes in the mid lane, though, because there's a kerfuffle that's about to start off as well, as Wukong looking to see if he can find the engage onto Noah, but not able to do so. Isma floating in behind Noah to make sure that the counter punch from G2 couldn't happen. G2 move members top to try and look for the tower, basically basing that they're going to use that Rift Herald there. But instead, Skewmon stuck around mid and was looking for a play there. So good read from Isma to cover. And at least Giant X can also cover that topside play with Jun on reset. So nice job on the defense there.
It's not like, again, they're using the TP when they don't have it, when G2 don't have it available on the other side. To catch my meaning, Caps TP on cooldown, Broken Blade TP on cooldown. So now the summoners are matched here, and Giant X mitigating gold is exactly what you want to see. We talked about how this comp would go, running off, you know, again, their solo lanes. Their solo lanes are doing pretty good in this game, and Dragon's up in a minute 30 with them already having won. It feels like a good game state as Noah versus Hansam is going to begin.
Skewmon's here,
Kraken
though.
comes out, the Unleashed Feathers won't find the target. It's Skewmon again. Double Cyclone is a root from Lebrov, and the bonk on the head. Interrupt on Isma flagging in as 80 carries will both drop down. Nice of Jackie's to get the trade. But this game, I'm really tunneling on Skewmon with the angles he's finding.
I mean, it was nice by Skewmon to cover, but a great read from Giant X in the play. Giant X basically looked at the map and said, okay, there is still a semi-global for Caps. What G2 are going to do is push boss, shift Caps mid, shift everyone else in G2 to take that top tower. We need to make a play on mid before that can happen. And they tried to do so by moving Jackie's, but Skewmon was there to cover, but hang on.
Fate finds Lebrov, catches Isma as well, but they're trapped together. Out with the smooch ulti from Isma, a Cataclysm down, Lebrov trying to escape. He's going to fake it, Isma goes for the left. Oh, he's going to flag and drag eventually, but he doesn't have the ulti. Lebrov tangles him down, and with the Proto Belt, he won't escape. He dies to the turret in the end and wastes a bit of Isma's time.
Still, the kill goes over. 3-3. The goal not looking as fancy as it did for G2 just a moment ago. And with 20 seconds until that dragon again, it's Lebrov off the map before this objective spawns. So Giant X should be able to put a lot of pressure down onto that bottom side. Cataclysm and Tempered Fate, though, going to be slow to come back up. So maybe if G2 can stall, they can get Nico back on the map.
Isma looking for an angle again. No Cataclysm. Skewmon found out. Gets a Cosmic Binding down, nice from Jun. TP going to be burned as well. Skewman has no ulti himself, he has his flash. Cap's going to save the day. Hunsummer almost dies to Jackie's trying to carry the game. Forward goes Cap. Meanwhile, Hunsummer flashes over the wall. Noah dies though. Broken Blade went into Mega Nah and said Mega Nah! Broken Blade sending his Q out again. He's got to flash away this time with Herald out. Cap's getting the charm onto Jackie. Lets the distortion backwards. Lot meanwhile into Dominus, wants to fight again with the Pop Blossom on the edge. Almost finding a new target. Giant X get out by the skin of their teeth while Herald hasn't got the charge yet. There's a mineral wave, or rather minion wave in the way. The Bruv tries to set it up, and yes indeed the turret will die. G2 find an advantage out of the play, but boy, is it close here with Giant X picking those angles quite nicely.
I'm shocked that G2 managed to make that work.
Me too.
Especially because Jackie's eliminated Hansama from the equation from the get-go. So both Lebrov and Hansama not at the start of that fight. But G2 still managed to make it work, and it's on Skewmond with the engage here. Not the best of clones, I will say, studying himself, but it's a turnaround as Broken Blade goes in that really sets up the play alongside Caps. They get on towards Noah. Noah doesn't have the ult, the flash, or the barrier available, so Broken Blade is able to finish him off. And from this then, Lebrov able to make his way back out from base. And it's a slow play from G2 with Giant X completely separated on the fight. Couldn't make it work.
I mean, it's a shame again. Jackie's this time was at the front of it rather than the side to find Hansama. Hansama, who by the way now has Quincy's Rage Blade, found out his Caps, but just as punch away, look at the damage. Where is it from Jackie's? The LeBlanc running into a Galio with Hollow Radiance and a bit of health now coming from what you assume is a Rift Maker. It's not bad. Jun found out as well. Magical Journey going to be taken. Double Cyclone and an easy kill gifted to Hansama. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, there's a Renekton versus an Nara, and this time we're getting the real thick of what it should have been. LeBron looking for the dive. Pop Blossom. Lot's going to get help, but will it be in time? You know the answer is no. Chloe mitigates the turret. Jackie's rolls on in. He gets a Cathian rained by Hansama as 4 members of G2 hold strong. Jackie's gets the Rether in, but it's Broken Blade who hops over the head of Hansama.
Giant X are trying desperately to keep up on the map plays from G2, but they're just too late. Jackie's couldn't protect Lock. Jun was dead, and Caps is pushing the top side again. G2's macro is keeping them afloat here.
Even in a messier game, Caps just demolishes that down, and the turret closer taking 2 plates off the back of it as well. And Hansama keeps getting delivered resources, whether it's plates, whether it's the kill there. 1,500 gold again, and Noah's having a much better game, but it does just feel, as you said, G2 understanding how to play the map right now. They're exposing Giant X as they move.
Yeah, exposing them on the map and also in those team fights. Like, getting access towards Noah like that should never happen for Giant X. But the team fight had already gotten away from them. And now G2 just setting up, want to try and contest vision in this top side. They have Broken Blade looking for that last remaining outer tower in the bot lane. And with Skewmond having 2 items now, working up towards that GA, he's going to be very strong and looking for these engages.
Lot's going to move down to the bottom lane. G2 getting edgingly close to Noah, but his ulti is now available. Featherstorm to keep him safe with a flash, a barrier, and a Mikhail's Bell from Jun. All about Noah staying alive here while the rest of G2 continue to get that deeper vision line we talked about. Control ward placed on down, while Baron, as you said, is still the threat, but Dragon soon will be the next port of call in 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're basically using Caps as a tank to buy space, like him walking forward, knowing that he can set up so well for Skewmond. And as long as he's here, Giant X can't really contest the vision. You can see there, like, sure, you're getting some poke, but Caps just gets to step up again. Isn't even bothered about that top wave. They just want to make sure that this Kai'Sa is going to be safe as she tries to contest this mid wave.
Broken Blade, as you said, though, that bottom turret is 2 plates from falling down. He's going to step up. Lot is in the way, but Jackie's is coming to help. Hansama's moving into Fog of War himself. Broken Blade would survive a little bit longer than maybe you all expect at home. Going to go Mega Nah. Lot gets a Stride Breaker, stun up, then a wall now there. He gets the Q down. Wall's Lot against it. Jackie's misses the chain, and the rest of G2 are on the way. Caps teleported to the last minion there. Justice Punch wins of war, and a Pop Blossom. LeBron sends him down under. And G2 are absolutely whomping the game now.
Caps saw LeBlanc for maybe half a second on that ward, and the TP was already coming. G2 once again covering plays on this bottom side. They get the tower, and they're just getting everything on the map.
Skewmond almost finding another target. Luckily, Noah gets out before being seen by the lens as we look at this again.
But look, LeBlanc barely steps out of the ward here, and immediately you just get the Caps TPing onto the bottom lane. G2, they know they've got the turnaround. Broken Blade kind of hoping he'd catch both there with the Mega Gnar, but doesn't even matter. Sidesteps the chains. Caps is tanky enough to follow up and tank whatever he needs to. Flashes away at the last second, and Lebrov, with a brilliant ultimate under the tower, solidifies the play.
G2 fans looking happy. Top 4 looking achievable right here and today. Someone wearing a Gen G shirt, confused, but that's okay. Enjoy the games. I mean, now dusk and dawn here for Hans Sama. And this game's not really been about him. It has been about Skewmond. I think his setups with the ultis have been delicious. Also with Lebrov, I mean, on this Nico, come on. Like,
yeah,
come on. Kind of insane.
And it's a pick that has fallen off, but still, good push in bot lane. The ability to look for these big engages. And now Giant X have to try and face check into this with G2 once again putting pressure on multiple flanks.
But look at Broken Blade. I mean, he's about to go into the Mega Gnar. Lot's going to run up into him, but here comes the Mega. Tempered Fate on the Dragon to buy some time. Lot gets stunned up, gets a house thrown at him, but Magical Journey out. Giant X are like, no, we can't fight, but they've already committed Lot in here. At least one is going to die, and I think it's a Renekton. Flash forward, Lebrov finds 3. The feathers will go out, but it's a storm of no feathers. Nothing to be used. A Cyclone again. Skewmond found the backline and onto Jackie's. A W used by Hans Sama. A triple kill with no ulti to follow up with the potential penta or even quadra, but here comes Caps again. Shielded around close to getting Jun, but Giant X are left with 2, and G2 are just the gods of fighting in this series.
They look absolutely insane. The combination working out incredibly well for them. G2 set them up, Hans Sama knocks them down, and it'll be bot lane tower and Baron that fall with this.
I'm also being told as his turret goes down that in the history of the LEC, in a series that is a best of 3, the fewest kills we've ever had is Origin at 4. Giant X, this is the only kills they've had in the series. If they do not get another kill, they will make history here. Not in a good way, but a show of domination from G2, regardless of this being a messier one, will be displayed.
Not exactly what you want from the home crowd, but G2, they don't really care. Broken Blade with a good flank keeps Lot at bay, and it's Lebrov comboing Skewmond here that really sets this up. So Caps gets on towards Lot. Lebrov with Skewmond flashing over, sets up onto Noah, and Noah doesn't have a chance. Immediately sent into the wall as G2 just chased down everyone on Giant X. It's just running for the hills.
Void Seeker in the end, triple kill for Hans Sama. The play ends here, no one else dies, and G2 end up getting the Baron. We come back live, 9,500 gold. Can Giant X get another kill and save themselves? As Caps looks to face check, in a turret in top looks to be pushed. And with Baron, we once again crest towards the 10,000 gold mark in under 30 minutes.
There's no wards in sight for Jackies to try and find some sneaky plays. G2 doing their due diligence with the amount of pink wards that they've set up mid, back of red buff, and also by Krugs. The Broken Blade going to take this mid lane turret as the presence for G2 shifts towards this top side to look for the inhibitor.
Isma moved down, G2 moved up in top. Turret damage done on the inhibitor turret. Jackie's going to stand in. Well, Shield of Duran doesn't find a target, but Jackie's just gets tagged out, and the Capian Rain from Hans Sama and the 3.5 item Kaiser is enough. Blooming Burst again, Jun gets tagged out, and with this Baron, it's doing its work on its own. The cannon minion hard to step up to, even Noah gets a Winds of War to the face. Well, meanwhile, we look towards mid. Broken Blade about to go into the Mega Gnar. Jackie's looking for the stun. He gets stunned up instead. Mega Gnar against the wall, brings in Caps. Broken Blade flushes out, and here he is! He sets up the Shield Duran. Hans Sama flies through with the Seeker's Arm Guard. And for G2, they're going to give away the kill, which means GX will be safe from setting a record. And at least slowing down the Baron with a 1-for-1 is a win, but the base is still in tatters.
They will be tied on that record, but G2 never letting up. They want to take more.
It's Broken Blade, it's Caps. Hans Sama would make it an easy finish. They could find a fight, but 29 minutes in, they're still going to try. However, with the teleport in, it is simply just for the inhibitor for now, but Broken Blade is going to go into Mega Gnar. They want to end the series right here, right now. In under an hour, it seems, or at least close to. Broken Blade comes back in with a Mega Gnar, and Lot gets shoved in, but no stun up with the W either from Broken Blade. Caps jumps in with the Justice Punch, Shield of Duran. Pop Blossom only a one-man. looking for the Tango Bars. Lebrov gets knocked up instead, and he's dead. Okay.
TP behind. TP behind.
They're going to look for even more. Get away from the Origin record and get into holding onto this game. The hop over the wall, or rather over Lot's face. Kiting it out as Broken Blade, and Lot is in danger if he follows up anymore. Broken Blade gets on out. Teleport now down. Giant X gets some room to breathe.
G2 getting a little too hypey on the play. Looking to see if they could round it out right there. But it will be backing away. But still, Soul up very, very shortly. But this was insane from BB. Flash moving in, gets the wall up, manages to flash away, but sets up for Caps to come through. And it's Han Samu who sends himself in. I thought he'd go for one and flash over the wall, but Noah flashing onto his face to make sure that he couldn't escape those feathers and not giving him any time to react.
And I don't know if he used the Seekers, I didn't get to see it, but he has Sonya's now anyway. So does Caps, so. As we come back to live with Guardian Angel for Skubon, there's a lot of abilities to make this a little bit harder for Giant X. But despite going down, Han Sama still has a 4.5k gold lead over Noah. And to be fair, Noah and Jun this game have been better, but Noah and Jun this series in comparison to Han Sama and Lebrov have been a non-factor. It's not even been close.
I mean, compared to what they were in Versus, it hasn't been there. And it's sad, because I really, really did get excited for Noah coming off of Versus. He played exceptionally, and people are literally going, is he the best AD carry in the league right now? Which, for Noah, was insane to say. But unfortunately for them, they haven't quite found that success. But I don't think this day can just be laid at their feet alone. Like Giant X, unfortunately, it's map difference, it's Caps being able to find multiple flank opportunities, getting the solo kill against Jackies in the early stage. Skewmon has been running rings around Isma. Like almost every part of the map has gone poorly for Giant X.
Yeah, and they changed the playstyle. Caps goes on something a little bit more passive, and he still has huge impact. A shout out to Jackies. I feel like with this game, he found some early angles, but G2's momentum is unbearable. But now with the last inhibitor turret left on the menu with the top wave pushing in deadly as ever, G2 looking to put the finishing touches with the Mountain Soul onto this series, onto their day 2 in Madrid. Lock in top 4, it's as simple as that. Giant X will be in single elimination. Their backs are against the wall. Lebrov looking again for the Tangle Barbs. He finds a Pop Blossom instead, then presses the E, gets the GA out. Lebrov's tanking up, he will die. As Tempered Fate buys a little bit more time, Isma comes back to life, a Broken Blade, about to go into the Meganar. Looking for a hopping angle. Jackie's backs away though and will not give it to him. So despite Lebrov dying in a 4 versus 5, G2 still say, let's end the series now. Shield Duran doesn't work, the flag and drag in, but it's a bait. Cyclone in the back, Skewmon enables Caps to jump on in. Broken Blade gets a 2-man, and against the wall, Giant X get rammed. Skewmon sends out the twirly whirly once more, and Jackie does his best, but with a Nexus exposed, with Giant X left with more numbers, it won't matter. Han Sama goes golden with the Nexus still falling down, and G2 will lock in the top 4, and Europe shrieks as once again we realize G2 might be our best team.
It's a Banshee's wail from Europe, as it seems like the Reaper has returned. G2 back in form is terrifying for playoffs.
And I've said it about Casey. I asked a question the other weekend, and I asked it as a question. I then said it about Vitality. I asked it as a question. But G2 have the track record where I ask it as a question, but I think leaving the answer open-ended is too easy to say here. I mean, G2 locked top 4, Casey locked top 4, but mainly G2's story here and today. It's a big one. Skewmon, Caps, or Han Sama. You can vote for your player of the series at LEC on X.
It's Han Sama for me. What a performance from the bot lane. And like Han Sama and Lebrov, I think both the 2v2.
Yeah.
But Han Sama in particular, outstanding.
Yeah.
And he has had a couple of outstanding series recently. Like, this man is firing on all cylinders and looks fantastic.
Well, who's going to stop him? Doesn't matter that they're in the top 4. Doesn't matter that we're, talking about teams like Vitality, Casey. There's always that thought. Well, G2 are going into a double elimination playoffs. They get a second chance. Giant X do not, by the way. They're in bottom. They're number 6.
So lock 6, yeah.
They're number 6, so they're the bottom of playoffs right now. As top 6 are the only ones to make it through. I'm scared. I'm scared because, again, that age-old story of G2 in playoffs, that adage, it's returning.
We didn't even make it to playoffs. We made it out of Berlin for a slight second, so G2 came back. And I think for MCOI tomorrow, That is terrifying. But for MKOI, they have a very important series coming up here now in just a few moments. So I think they'll be eyeing up KC first before they even look at the behemoth that is G2 right now.
Oh, with today, I mean, this was only the taster, wasn't it? MKOI KC coming up after this. Get your keyboards out. Get on Twitter. Get on whatever your social media is and get ready to type your essay. I'm sure you've got a lot of good content. And on the English side, do some research as well, Laura, I've been told, is standing by with Caps, the GOAT, the best of the mid lane, with a quick interview after the series.
We're here with Caps after this very one-sided series, if I may say. Okay, we're gonna talk about this a bit later, but first, I want to know, it feels like every time playoffs is coming, you guys are ramping up and becoming the very, very fierce bears that you guys are usually in playoffs. So do you feel like the strongest team in the LEC right now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so for sure. I think we've had like two very good days here, and I think the last few weeks we've been playing better and better, but we still have like a long way to go if we want to be like confidently the best. So we need to step it up for playoffs for sure.
What do you think you're missing to surpass the form that you had at first stand, for instance?
I mean, I think like a bit of like meta, like always, there's always more you can learn, right? Like about the patch, like what champions we want to play, what matchups, and I think some of our team play is still like not fully on the same page. So we definitely have some things we need to step up, but it's great when you know what you can improve on.
It is getting there for sure, and it's always different when you guys play in front of an audience in an arena. And I wanted to do this interview here because first, G2 fans, they look great, but also this looks amazing. So wait, can you come here? Okay, this is accurate. What do we think of Mini Broken Blade?
I mean, it's quite accurate for the Mini Na, you know, the Mini Na. Maybe next time we'll get the Mega Na version as well.
Is there anything you want to tell your fans? They were cheering for you really loud with the drums and everything today.
No, I mean, I want to give a big thank you guys to everyone for supporting you guys. It's been amazing to walk on stage, and it makes all the plays really hype. So thank you.
Shout out to you guys. Congrats, G2. Now, I know you don't spend a lot of time on social media, but things got pretty heated last night, especially with the upcoming game. MKOI, KC. Who do you think wins this one?
Sounds like it's MKOI. Sounds like it's MKOI.
Sounds like it's gonna be KOI. That's the right answer here, Caps. Thank you so much. And that's all here for this interview.
Yeah, he's not taking any risks. He's like, I'm just straight up saying when we start KOI. I get
There's
it.
no
I get
good answer there for him, I think.
Yeah. What do y'all think? Lore accurate Broken Blade or out of pocket?
I loved Cap's comment that it definitely represents the Mini-Na, but also maybe G2's just full of tall players. You know what I mean?
I also want to say camera angles do people really, really dirty.
That's true.
Because sometimes I'm interviewing players or whatever, but I'm closer to the camera. And I'm definitely not taller, and they look really small, and they're not.
Right.
And then sometimes it's just the way it is. So
Sometimes
yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
We love short kings around here.
Yeah, I love short kings, I do. Anyways, League of Legends and G2, 2-0, super clean. Again, what a frustrating game, Jack, for Giant to play, right? Because you saw them like clawing, and then G2 was like, nah.
I mean, G2 just looked so insane throughout this whole game. You said it best, Vetty. They make it look easy, and Giant are trying. They're fighting. They're finding picks. Like Jackie's had a lot of. There were like 5 times this game where he got Hansama down to 100 HP, but he was barely ever able to really kill him. So that meant that they had no real gold lead in any lane to play around. And G2 were just so much better across the board in the teamfights. Like, there's no like bad thing you can say about G2 this game.
It felt like Jackie's was the player who was doing his best to set GX up for success, but the reality is that when it came to these team fights, G2 was simply overwhelming. And I wish that there was more to break down in this matchup. I wish that there was more to sell you on GX, but right now, there's a lot that they need to work on. The good news is that they will have time for playoffs. The bad news is that they are in that lower bracket now. Locked in 6th place means they won't get a second chance. It'll be do or die in their very first best of 5 in playoffs.
Can they beat anyone above them?
Right now, it doesn't look like it.
They are going against MKOI, tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
No,
so that'd be an
that was
indicator.
yesterday.
No,
They're going
That was
to
yesterday.
tomorrow.
KC.
No, they're not beating KC. I don't know how to try.
But in playoffs, though, like,
Yeah, in the playoffs.
can they beat Navi?
They can't beat Navi. I mean, they did beat Navi.
No.
But they
They beat Navi last split.
But it doesn't
In
matter.
But not this split.
Because in the bracket, they won't play against Navi. Their only
Okay,
opposition
Benny, we're
is...
trying to do something for Giant X. Give them something. In a hypothetical world, they could beat Navi.
They, in a hypothetical world, they could win the world championship. Okay,
Yeah.
but like that's
We don't live in that world, I'm afraid, Jack. Well, the world we do live in is this one, where the fight for first is still on, but it's pretty much down to whether or not KC can steal it away from Vitality. Should KC lose in next series, then Vitality lock first, and then it's a fight for second amongst the rest of our top teams.
Next series.
It's all about pride, I think, more than the standings.
Pride. It's like it's war. It's crazy. Our key player of the series, though, for this one was Caps. Oh, okay, yeah.
Fair enough.
I think it's pretty deserved.
I mean, Hansama for me.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
I mean, Hansama, he had a really good series, but Caps as well. I mean, Caps was Caps, right?
Yes.
He just found so many good picks, and the roams on the Galio were brilliant as well.
He's taking so many pictures. He loves Spain.
I mean, it's setting us up really nicely for the matchup tomorrow because, you know, I have made the claim that I think Jojo's the best mid in the league, but the reality is we haven't seen Jojo versus Caps yet this split, so I think it's setting us up perfectly for that matchup tomorrow, and I'm hoping for a really intense mid lane matchup between the two.
Yes, but he's up first. Yahoo also, so that's going to be sick. Up next is the match we've all been waiting for. Mkoy versus Carmine Core, and to get us warmed up into that one, Lore was talking to Busio earlier.
Busio, thank you so much for joining me ahead of the craziness ahead of us today. I feel like it's the first time you get caught into the whole Spanish-French rivalry. How is that from the outside?
You know, I mean, it put more stakes on this regular season game, so it's just more excitement.
Yeah, is it something that you're trying to block the noise and everything still and just focus on your game? How are you guys doing that?
Yeah, I mean, us players, you know, like, we don't want more pressure, you know.
Yeah.
We still treat it as a normal game, but,
Okay.
you know, deep down it's a bit more exciting.
All right, but you gotta defend your CEO's honor now.
Of course, yeah.
All right, focusing a bit more on your game and KC, some of the discussions that I've seen, you had a great start to this season, suffered your first loss yesterday. Some people were saying that you're maybe a bit too one-dimensional as a team. What do you have to say to that?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, we know how to play multiple styles, and, you know, some of the drafts are one-dimensional, because that's just how the meta is, but I think
Okay.
we can play multiple styles.
All right, and now Busio on tanks and engage versus Busio on enchanters and range support. What do you have to say about this?
Oh, I mean, I know I'm capable of playing both
Okay.
very well. Just right now the meta is enchanters and generally range champs, but I'm also comfortable on, you know, engage champs, so
Okay.
my favorite meta is when there's a mix of both.
So you gotta pick them up. Okay, now last question I have, especially ahead of the match today. Supa on the Spanish stream yesterday went and said, I saw Calist look pretty pissed getting out of stage, and I will make sure that tomorrow he goes out the same way. You can't let your AD carry not be defended like this. You gotta defend his honor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he can say that, but actually me and Calist were very happy about yesterday because we learned a lot, and honestly what matters the most is playoffs, so it's just regular season.
All right, not even looking at the opponents. That's how it goes. Thank you so much, Monsieur.
Thank you.
Want to find your fastest server every time? Express like a pro and optimize your connection in one tap. Express and game without ISP throttling. Express and shield yourself from DDoS attacks. Express and choose the VPN trusted by gamers everywhere. Express VPN. Experience gaming the Express way. Fast, stable, competitive. Outplay the world. It's time to Express. Unlock free Hextech rewards, exclusive skins, and more. Scan to subscribe.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
I lied awake for days, counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these ghosts, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future. It's not me to turn and run. Met the bitter truth and I choked it down. Left a bad taste on my tongue, but my appetite's been growing now. I can see you crawling in your skin, but no one's coming out to hold you close. I'm pouring out the gasoline, so say hello to all my ghosts.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kameto versus Ibai, the match of the century. MKoi versus KC in the house of Movistar Koi. Absolutely unbelievable what unfolded on social media ever since last night. Jack and Vedius, who wants to give our viewers who are unaware, because they're watching the English broadcast,
yeah,
I mean, they're probably watching Cadrill's stream, and he talked about it too.
Yeah, so to give a brief summary, right, we had a Trayton fan account? Trayton fan account.
Not fan account, part of Trayton's like social media empire.
But it's supposed to be like a meme rage baity account is the whole point, right?
Yes, but they are connected to Trayton.
Okay, sure. But the point of the account is to be rage baity, right?
Jason,
and so,
we're shouting you out.
And so he successfully rage baited, right? the hook succeeded and chaos unfolded. Ibai reacted, Kameto reacted to Ibai, everyone reacted to everyone, and it unfolded in drama aplenty from both sides, from the Spanish side, from the French side, and us and the English viewers are like, whoa, cinema. Things got heated, words were shared.
Yeah.
Things happened today.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a show match between Kameto and Ibai, which did not pan out that we were expecting.
No.
So a lot of drama happened, and it's resulted in now where the stakes are beyond just playoffs, beyond just top four, because now it's about a fight for pride, a fight for honor, and a fight for your own name, as both streamers and both organizations fight to hold that title of who is better.
Low-key, this weekend was like, I don't know, really stakes. Like,
everybody's already in playoffs.
Boring. They were like, hold my beer. Yeah, it was really insane. Yeah, it's true, and I think in general, right, sometimes people go overboard. On either
Absolutely.
side, it's not like we're condoning any of that, but on the other hand, like, they're going head to head, and it just shows, Jack, how, like, their heart and souls are in these organizations, right? It's them that put everything on the line. Like Kamito and Ebai, we can't forget also, like, Ebai and Movistar Koi are putting on this event, so obviously you feel a little kind of like, oh my gosh.
You can tell that the egos were really invested into, like, like, this is their event, this is their hosting it, so when on Friday, when they didn't have that show out or turnout that they really wanted, then it caused such a huge